Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I intend to be brief, and I want to be clear up front that I do intend, Mr. Chair, to offer and withdraw this amendment. Mr. Chairman, the Coast Guard has indicated that they're short 400 marine inspectors right now, 400. And what's happening as a result of that lack of staffing is that the inspections that are required for vessels are being delayed. And so you have vessels that have been unable to work, that have been unable to go into the workforce because they don't have an inspection because of the shortage of workers. In port state control exams, the Coast Guard during COVID has began utilizing this risk-based approach to where they look at the risk associated with a vessel to determine the frequency of inspection. As a matter of fact, Mr. Chairman, the Government Accountability Office recently, just recently released a report earlier this year on the assessment of a risk-based approach for conducting exams on vessels. And Mr. Chairman, that's sort of what our amendment is based on. Currently, a vessel received an inspection resulting in a certificate for compliance, which is valid for 24 months, 2 years. However, despite the fact that the validity of that certificate for compliance is the COC is valid for 2 years, they do an annual inspection. And there's, as I mentioned, not appropriate staff to actually conduct these. So what the amendment does is the amendment simply aligns the certificate of compliance with the annual inspection in those cases when there's a low risk based on the assessment of the Government Accountability Office. So, Mr. Chairman, I want to bring attention to this issue. I understand that most folks have not had the opportunity to read this recently reported Government Accountability Office report. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I did just want to bring attention to this issue, ask Mr. Chair if we could have a commitment from you and others to continue to work together as this bill advances. And with that, the knowledge that you're going to commit to me, Mr. Chair, I'm going to go ahead and ask unanimous consent that amendment number 183 be withdrawn.
Without objection, the amendment's withdrawn. I would recognize myself out of order to speak briefly. You know, I share the gentleman's concern. It's very disturbing that the Coast Guard is short so many marine inspectors. And we need to look at both why that is in terms of staffing, training, budgetary issues, and also look potentially at alternatives as the gentleman has pointed to, and be happy to continue to work with him on this.